Hey, this is Rich over at TVP Live with another quick tips tutorials brought to you by Adobe Photoshop Elements Tutorials Group. And let's jump right in with today's poster. Wanted to know how to get rid of these beverage cans here. Now, as another poster had suggested, was to just simply crop the picture down here. You could do that with the gentleman's side because there's not much showing down there. But here, if you start cropping it way up here, the photo's going to get a little bit too small. So let's try to get rid of just one of the beverage cans and crop the other one out. Now, when we look at this beverage can up close, what the problem is that if you take away the beverage can, you can have this arm just kind of sitting there holding nothing, even if you were to replace the thumb. I would recommend to just replace the arm and put it in a different position and then cover everything else using this clone stamp tool with the dress. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to start by cutting out the arm all together like this with the lasso tool. And I'm going to cut the arm into two different portions. One's going to be the top half and one's going to be the lower half. So once that I got it encircled with the lasso tool, I'm just going to right click and hit copy. That creates a whole new layer up here. I can turn off the background original layer showing us just that new layer. Now I'm going to carefully cut out the arm and split it into two sections. First I'll take eraser and choose a soft 5-point eraser or so it's nice and tiny. I'll go ahead and zoom in. And the reason of course that I use an eraser instead of the lasso tool is because those soft edges there will continue to look soft, and that's what we want it to do. Now when I get to the fingers and thumb area, I'm going to probably end up chopping part of this off, so I'm just going to go ahead and take the smudge the thumb a little bit longer so that we can try to save some of it while we chop off the rest. I'll go back to the eraser and continue erasing. Once I get to the end here, I'm going to grab the lasso tool, but come down here and pick the polygon tool, and I'll go ahead and start taking out the outside by choosing the inside first by drawing a lasso right in between the two where I erased, making sure not to touch either the outside or the inside. Once we finish the polygon close to where we started, I'm going to double click and that'll give us the marching ants. I'm going to zoom out. Now if I hit delete, it's going to delete the inside, but that's not what we want. So I'm going to go ahead and undo that. I'm going to right click and select inverse right here, and that selects everything else but the inside on this layer. So as soon as I hit delete, boom, now we got us a beautiful arm here. What we want is a top half and a bottom half. So I'm going to go ahead and take this arm and I'm going to duplicate it. How? I can just hold the Alt down and left drag, and now we got two arms. And what I'm going to do is have a top half of one arm and the bottom half of another arm. So I'm going to zoom in to this left one here. What I'll do is I'll erase with an eraser the bottom half. Let's do a big soft brush eraser, like 35 point or so. And we're just going to simply get rid of some of this here like that. And then we could take the polygon and get rid of the rest of this bottom half of this arm on this version. Let's go over to the other version and do the opposite. I'm going to first grab my picker tool, choose that version, go ahead and grab the eraser, and let's go ahead and erase the top half this time. And now we take the polygon tool, draw a polygon around the top half. Hit delete, and there we go. So now we got us a top half of an arm and a bottom half of an arm. What are we going to do with that? We can place it together and we could change the angle to any angle that we want. So let's go ahead and turn the background back on and let's do our magic here. So what I'm going to do is grab the top part of the arm and bring it in like this, and then grab the bottom part of the arm and put it back right here where it belongs. And that's all there is to it. So now let's get rid of the old arm in the beer can, but we want to lock in everything else so that it doesn't move around. So let's go ahead and lock that, and lock the old layer. Let's put a layer, a blank layer in between the two, and that's the layer we're going to use for the clone stamp tool. So let's start by grabbing a small brush like a 75 soft brush here, and we want to get rid of this corner here. So we want to find something similar to this corner. How about the opposite end, right around here? I'm going to go ahead and grab this and come to this corner here and just simply clone it down to there. Now we want to go up a little bit further. Let's grab another portion that matches this flower a little bit, sort of, and go ahead and stamp that all the way down. Now we got a portion with not too many flowers, so let's grab this portion up here. We'll grab this here and stamp that down to there. So now we want to grab this portion that doesn't have too many flowers, so let's just grab this over here and take that down like that. The flowers start up again, so we can start those up again and continue on. And once we got the texture all filled in where we want, we can just back out here. And now we can go ahead and take our cropping tool and go ahead and grab this photo and crop it out. Now we can take the beverage can over there and just come down to the very edge here, and I'll crop it right there, and I'll cut the picture off there. If I zoom in on the little can left over here, I can easily take the smudge brush, come down to that layer, make sure it's unlocked, grab a small like 25 point, and I can just smudge the thumb right back in and smudge the shirt right back in. And that's all there's to it. And as you can see, as I turn the new pieces off, you'll see what was there before in the original picture. Now we can bring them back, and there you go. You got a nice picture without any of the cans. Well, this is Rich calling it quits for this tutorial, saying over and out.